Hi, everyone. I'm Cheryl Butler, and you're listening to the Mighty Mommy's Quick and Dirty Tips podcast, which will help make your life as a parent a little bit easier and a lot more fun. Welcome. Today's episode is number 514, 5 Ways to Be Less Overwhelmed in the Parenting New Year, because when you stay calm and focused, day in and day out, you'll learn to relax more, and you won't sweat the small stuff, and even the big stuff. Now that the holiday dust has settled and the last of the broken ornaments are swept up and away, it's time to really settle in and reflect on the glorious new year ahead. New Year's resolutions are almost trite at this point, but there's still something to be said about a fresh start, a blank slate, awesome new possibilities if you're willing to embrace them. As parents, busy, nonstop human doings, I find January to be my favorite month of the year. I'm a holiday junkie. I absolutely love the magnetic magic of Christmas, coupled with the peaceful, wondrous feeling offered up by the winter solstice. As hectic as the season is, the majestic beauty of the festive lights and decorations, connecting those warm, loving feelings with family and friends throughout the holiday, along with the anticipation of opening the first gift of the season on a peaceful but electric day in late December, offers me a feeling like no other. But then, those hours of shopping for the perfect gifts, the care we take in gift wrapping, the long creative hours spent baking, cooking, and presenting a spectacular holiday meal, it all seems to be gone in just minutes. Another holiday season come and gone. January, however, is like reconnecting with a long-lost friend. After the hustle and bustle of the holiday season, this beautiful first month on the calendar allows us to catch our breath and refocus on what drives us, what makes us tick. If you've been hanging by a thread the past few weeks, going through the motions just to survive yet another holiday season, you can put that effort behind you and gear up for a brand new, fresh start. Between navigating the holidays and the extremely busy parenting days that we face, daily life can seem so overwhelming. It doesn't have to be like that, however, if you're willing to embrace a new approach this year. Instead of feeling frazzled, here are 5 ways for you to feel less overwhelmed and more empowered as a parent in the new year. 5 ways to be less overwhelmed as a parent. 1. Get 1 more hour of sleep. 2. Implement an hour of power. 3. Rework your discipline strategies. 4. Practice mindfulness. And 5. Let it go. We'll take a closer look at each. 1. Get 1 more hour of sleep. When life is very full, one way that many of us, myself included, find a way to cut corners is to compromise our sleep. I know firsthand because for years I was, and to some extent still am, a night owl. Raising 8 kids so close in age has been full of adventure, lots of love, and many, many surprises. It's also lacked something I should have paid more attention to, sleep. Because my days were always so full, I took advantage of the peaceful evenings that were mine for the taking once my kids went to sleep. The house was still, and I didn't have any little hands clinging to my legs or little voices requesting juice, help with the potty, snacks, and everything in between. I used this time every night to pay bills, catch up with housekeeping duties, sigh, write my daily to-do lists, scrapbook, read, write, and even take hot baths. It was basically uninterrupted time, and I treasured it. What I didn't realize, however, was how much these late nights were affecting my overall health. By staying up those extra few hours, I was not doing my body and my mental health any favors. Somehow it worked for me for many years, but as I get older and my kids became involved in so many more outside activities, I began noticing I wasn't as patient as I normally was, and I wasn't as focused throughout the day either. Finally, my doctor talked some sense into me. He strongly recommended that if I could change one thing about my daily routine to improve my well-being, it would be to get more sleep. Even just 1 more hour would be beneficial. There are so many benefits for gaining more sleep. As mentioned in the Valley Sleep Center's article, What 1 More Hour of Sleep Gets You, In fact, this article states that if you could make just one new resolution for the new year, catching one more hour of Z's could possibly be the best decision you make. Here are their 8 top reasons to get more winks in the year. 1. Decreased risk of heart attack. 2. Decreased risk of obesity. 3. Decreased risk of diabetes. 4. Increased weight control. 5. More likely to exercise. 6. You'll have better interpersonal relationship skills. And 7 and 8. A stronger immune system and a better brain. If you're feeling like you always have too much on your parenting plate, give more sleep a try. When you wake up feeling rested and truly refreshed, you'll feel as though you can tackle almost anything that comes your way. 2. Implement an hour of power. Before I dive into one of my favorite parenting tips, I want to clarify that creating an hour of power is not the same as the famous drinking game Power Hour, where players must consume a specified number of alcoholic shots within 1 hour. Hey, I enjoy sipping Pinot Grigio, believe me, but even when I had 4 kids under the age of 3, I didn't have to resort to gulping down a few bottles, no matter how bad things got. So now that I've cleared up any misconceptions on tip number 2, let me explain what an hour of power can do for you. Years ago, when I was very new to our school's PTO, we continued to face a common problem that many PTO and PTAs have, a shortage of parents to help. It wasn't that parents, mostly moms, weren't interested in helping out. The challenge was their time, or lack thereof. Most worked full-time or were at home with small kids and couldn't get out of their own way, so volunteering for hours at a time was just not possible. We finally solved this challenge by creating the Hour of Power, where parents could devote a single hour to help with our events. Within a few short months, we had more volunteers than we had ever had in years. Our problem of finding warm bodies to carry out our many needs was finally solved. And it was a win-win for all because those who wanted to be a part of our fundraising efforts could finally participate on their own terms, and our events were huge successes. This got me to thinking about the benefits of an hour of power at home, too. I decided to try scheduling this same quick chunk of time during each day to see if I could be more productive. Guess what? It worked like a charm. I picked an hour that I thought would work best for my daily routine, and that was the hour after lunch. When my kids were younger, they usually napped then, so I was able to get paperwork done, organize closets, prepare meals ahead of time, write, and do so many more things simply because I had designated this time a few times a week to accomplishing a few big tasks. By doing so, I took some of the pressure off myself to not be so behind on my to-do list, and that helped keep me calmer and less stressed. 3. Rework your discipline strategies. One of the most stressful parts of parenting is effectively disciplining your child. Timeouts, taking away favorite toys, grounding, no phones and electronics. You know, the list goes on and on. If you haven't found your stride when it comes to disciplining your toddler or your teen, take a step back and devote some time right now to reworking your strategies. If you have a defiant child who isn't responding to your discipline tactics, that's okay. Take some time to figure out some new strategies. In my episode, 4 Ways to Handle Teenage Disobedience and Rebellion, savvy psychologist Dr. Ellen Hendrickson and I share tips to help ease the burden of disobedience. If your disciplinary actions aren't working, you can research online articles, YouTube videos, head to the library to read up, or reach out to other parents who might have helpful tips. The key is to find some new techniques that might work rather than staying stagnant with an approach that hasn't worked yet. Keep moving forward. For more ideas, you can check these out. 8 strategies for dealing with a defiant child, 6 tips for handling a defiant toddler, and 6 ways to handle a defiant teen without yelling. These are all in the Mighty Mommy archive. These episodes will give you more insight into handling your most stubborn discipline problems, and in doing so, you'll lower your overwhelming stress in no time. Number 4, Practice mindfulness. Many times, the stress we parents bring into our lives is due to the sheer fact that we hustle and bustle day in and day out. The simple solution? Get into the moment and live for the day, not the past or future. Practicing mindfulness is a sure way to connect with your present happenings. When you take in the moment, every breath, thought, and feeling, you'll appreciate your in-the-now environment, and then you can focus on the present rather than borrowing worry from what might be happening tomorrow. For more easy ways to embrace mindfulness, check out my episode, 5 Simple Mindfulness Habits for Better Parenting. And tip number 5, let it go. Did you happen to catch the movie Frozen in 2013? Truly one of my family's favorites. This magical film of Disney captures how Princess Elsa possesses magic that allows her to control and create ice and snow, often using it to play with her younger sister Anna. A Frozen fairy tale unfolds, and the movie's popular show tune, Let It Go, brought the house down all across America. The film's message was brilliant, and it delivered a powerful and moving song. But more than that, one of the song's lines, "I don't care what they're going to say," really does capture how we as parents could better live our lives. During those frustrating times we as parents face with kids who disobey us, defy us, talk back to us, and even distract us from perhaps living a more peaceful existence, if we heed the words of "let it go," we can totally relieve a lot of stress from our parenting lives and enjoy our kids so much more. Hanging on to our current parenting struggles is really not a healthy way to manage our daily stressors, but instead a recipe to invite more tension into our regular routine. Learn to let it go and watch how more relaxed and enjoyable your everyday parenting situations become. Do you feel overwhelmed in your parenting life? How are you dealing with these everyday stressful circumstances? Let me know in the comments or post it on the Mighty Mommy Facebook page. You can also connect with me on Twitter @MightyMommy, or I'd love it if you'd email me at mommy@quickanddirtytips.com. If you have friends and family that would enjoy listening as well, I'd love it if you'd share the link to this podcast and refer them to the website, which is www.quickanddirtytips.com/mighty-mommy. Here, you'll find hundreds of archived episodes covering a wide variety of parenting and family-related topics. Wishing you a brand new year of more relaxation and fun, and the least stress that you could possibly have with your family. Enjoy the time you have with one another, because that's what it's all about. As always, thanks so much for listening, and until next time, happy parenting.